week 6 of the fantasy football season, and here's a few running backs I look to drop this week. The first guy, Rashad Penny of the Seattle Seahawks. So Penny, he got off to a good start this season, but once again, the injury bug caught up to him, and now he's out for the season with a broken fibula, and he's going to need surgery, Pete Carroll announced. So Penny now, it looks like he's not going to be with the Seahawk team next year after re-signing. And Kenneth Walker, he's a rookie, and he looked good, obviously, in Week 5's ball game in relief for Penny. But right now, it's a big loss for them. And for fantasy owners, he was a solid number 2 running back on fantasy teams. So even Dynasty and Keeper Leagues, I would drop Penny. We don't know what's going to hold the future for him next season. And right now, he's out for the year, so hopefully he gets healthy and comes back next season. And we'll see where he lands, but he's an easy drop this week. The next guy's Naeem Hines of the Indianapolis Colts. So Hines took a bad hit right away in that ball game for the Colts, and he got concussed, and I don't know if he's going to come back in this Week 6 ball game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is a good matchup on paper, but I have a feeling Jonathan Taylor is going to come back. So Naeem Hines right now owned in 70% of fantasy leagues, but once Taylor comes back, he's not going to have fantasy value anyway, and maybe a couple games here and there, he'll pop for some fantasy points. But this season, his best game was 11.40 in PPR leagues with Taylor in the lineup. But if he's not catching balls out of the backfield, obviously he's not going to be running in between the tackles here, Hines. And to be honest, Deion Jackson's more of a 2-down back than a Naeem Hines. So right now, either way, he's a guy I wouldn't hold on to this week and drop for a better option. And the third and final running back I would drop this week's Antonio Gibson of the Washington Commanders. So right now, Gibson in Week 5 with the return of Brian Robinson Jr. 3 carries, 6 yards in that ball game with 3 catches for 33 yards. So right here, you got Brian Robinson Jr. back in the mix. He had 9 carries in that ball game. He's more of a physical back and a guy Washington likes a lot. Coming into the season, they didn't really like Gibson, obviously, as the starting running back. And then Robinson, he got shot and he had to rehab for the first month of the season, but now he's back in the mix. And I think Thursday night we're going to see Robinson get anywhere from 10 to 15 touches, and Gibson be a guy, change your pace back and maybe catch a few balls out of the backfield. But he's a guy you're obviously not going to start. He's a guy that obviously Washington doesn't like. And right now, there's no really a reason to have him on your roster unless you're going to stash him, hoping he breaks out or an injury occurs to Robinson again. But right now, this week, Gibson is a drop, so that's a few running backs I look to drop.